got you. Welcome to Hamiltonville Farm. I'm Hank. If this is your first time watching our channel, we appreciate you stopping by. If you like content about tractors and hobby farming, then we think you'll like our channel. If you do, consider subscribing. It's that little red button below, totally 100% free. If you click on it, you'll subscribe to our channel and you'll help us grow. We'd appreciate that. In part one of the video series that we're doing, you got to see the overview of Masters Farm Equipment in Alpha, Florida. It's a really, really neat place. You got to see some of the stuff that they have. This is part two in that series, and we get to cover some of the implements that they have. Some of these implements I've never even seen before, never even heard of before, but he's got them laying around his property. He's a really cool cat, and I think that you're going to really like this video. But in part three that's coming out later, you're going to actually get to meet Mr. Masters. He's a really cool cat, like I said earlier, and you're just going to, I mean, the knowledge that he has. You ever meet people that just, they know everything? Well, he's one of those guys. He's such a pleasure to talk to, and I can't wait for you to see part three that's coming up. But first, let's go watch the implements. I think you're going to like this video. So the first implement we're going to look at is a cultivator. Now sometimes you have a planter that's stuck on the back of a cultivator frame. You know, you'll throw your seed in there. But this implement will go in between your rows, pick your weeds up, things like that. And so it's a very handy implement to keep your rows clean and your crops clean, free of weeds. These cultivators really come in handy. Here we've got a one-row cultivator. If you're going to use an implement like this, what you got to do, you put your fertilizer in this front bucket here, and then you'll put your seed in the back bucket, and that will just take care of the one row. And right beside it, we have what we call a healer. A healer? What is this, Jesus? It's yeah, this is a healer here. And so, like, if you're planting watermelon, something like that, you'll run down your road and kind of bring the dirt back up, kind of make a mound, hence the term healer. All right? This implement is another weeder. It's kind of like a rolling cultivator, something like that. Again, just keeps your garden or your crops clean, free of weeds. Different application. Now this big hunk of metal here is a 4-row cultivator. It's missing the sweeps, but if you needed one, they could get it for you. And so something this wide and something that's going to be pulling up that kind of dirt. Probably looking at about a 40-horse tractor to get an implement this size down through the rows there. Now these two implements here behind me is just a spreader. Hooks up to your PTO. You know, it can spread fertilizer, maybe small seed like ryegrass, something of that nature. And then in front of us, a daggum huge land plane or soil leveler, or you know, different people call it different things. But you know, this is a, man, you're talking about, if you're not going to use a box blade or something like this, you can really get a good use of this, getting the washboards out of dirt roads, leveling out dirt drives, things like this. And this one, I mean, that's 8 foot wide. Good Lord, you could do a highway in our county with this thing. All right, so this is a really cool implement too. Again, you need a bigger tractor to pull something this wide.
We actually had one right over there that was hooked in Alice Chalmers, but we just sold the tractor. But this fitted up underneath the bottom of the tractor. They had a little loop and it clipped in. You had a handle that you pulled to undo it, to unlatch it. And then, of course, you know, they had a crank here to adjust your wheels there.
Just called a 2-bottom plow.
Yeah, that's just the old 2-bottom plow.
Yeah. Now here you just have a little small 4-foot rototiller. You can see how the cutting blades or the tines up underneath there. Perfect for a small garden. Those type of applications. Yeah, we'll do a nice job. Here is a subsoiler. This one has a little wider blade on the bottom of it here. That's for, like, you could do it with potatoes and stuff like that. But you can also use subsoilers for drainage and irrigation purposes. If you're out in a pasture, if a pasture has a slope on it or something, you can use that subsoiler to help with the irrigation of that water cascading down that terrain, if you will. If you remember from the last video, we talked about this particular piece of equipment here. And I asked you, I said, leave a comment below if you know what this is. Well, Dan, who's been giving us the tour of the property, told me this is a manure spreader. So if you left a comment in the previous video, and you said manure spreader, then I didn't take that personally. I didn't think he was talking about me spreading bullcrap everywhere, but this is an old-timey manure spreader. And so who knew? You know, it's crazy how people come up with better ideas to do work. So this Alice Chalmers tractor is a trophy winner. You saw a picture of some of the trophies earlier in the video. This is an early 1950s model, maybe 53, but it runs. This tractor actually runs. So they rebuilt the engine, pulled it out of the weeds and got it in tip-top shape, and they showed this thing every now and again. He's got a couple trophies for all his efforts, so big, strong running tractor there. Now this beauty here is an old hay rake. I believe it's Massey Ferguson, and it's actually upside down right now, but you can you know, turn your phone upside down or turn your computer upside. Hey, there we go. And you can see this thing right here. It's offset to the side rake. Pretty neat implement. Now this contraption here is a cultipator. So it's like a compactor, like a, you know, a lot of times you'll see a compactor with the round wheel and they fill them with water or they fill them with other type of things to kind of make them heavy. Well, this does the same thing. It compacts the soil after you laid the seed down and all that stuff. You can get them in John Deere green, you can get them in breast cancer awareness pink, or you can get them in black. So if you wanted to compact the soil and use a cultipator, they call this particular implement. There's just so much going on here at Masters Farm Supply. It's incredible. I'm like a kid in a candy shop. And so I want to thank Dan Masters for letting me come up. Dan, I appreciate you, buddy. You know, when I was telling you about all these pieces of implements and all these pieces of equipment, Dan was really the one that's telling me what to say. He's the brains behind the operation. So, you know, I don't know this stuff, but he's super knowledgeable, and I'm just thankful that you let me come up and spend some time with you. So, as always, there's going to be a little picture of the barn pop up over here. That'll take you to our subscribe page. If you click that, we'd appreciate the support. And we're going to do another video here at Masters. If you haven't seen the other one, the previous one, check that one out. But we're also going to do another one of a 1937 General tractor, and you'll catch that on our next video. You guys take care. We'll catch you on the next one.